Why God closes doors sometimes in life. We find ourselves facing closed doors, opportunities that vanish, relationships that end, dreams that slip away. And in those moments, it's easy to feel confused, hurt, or even angry. We wonder why things didn't work out the way we hoped. But what if those closed doors are not setbacks, but divine redirection? God doesn't close doors to punish you. He closes them to protect you. What you think is rejection may actually be redirection. He sees what you can't see. He knows what's waiting behind every decision, every path, every person. A door might look good on the surface, but behind it could be pain, disappointment, or delay. And so in His wisdom, He shuts it. You may have prayed for something with your whole heart, and still it didn't come to pass. That doesn't mean God didn't hear you. It means He has something better in mind. You are aiming for good, but He's planning great. When you're trying to force a door open that God has closed, you're trying to make your own way instead of trusting His way, and that never ends well. Sometimes a closed door is a test, not of your strength, but of your faith. Will you trust Him when you don't understand? Will you keep moving forward when the path isn't clear? Faith is not proven in the open doors. It's proven in the silence, the pause, the waiting. That's where growth happens. That's where character is built. That's where destiny is shaped. God's plan is never to harm you, but to prosper you, to give you hope and a future. And sometimes, in order to give you that future, He has to remove what you thought you needed. He closes the door so you can walk into something greater. You just haven't seen it yet. So if a door has closed, let it. Don't bang on it. Don't beg for it to open. Walk away with peace in your heart, knowing that what's meant for you will never require you to force it. The right door will open effortlessly in its time. Until then, trust the one who holds every key. Because when God closes a door, it's only because He's about to open one that leads to everything you were made for. Closed doors are not punishment, but protection. It's one of the hardest truths to accept, especially when you're emotionally invested in what's on the other side. Whether it's a job you wanted, a relationship you believed in, or a dream you worked tirelessly toward, having the door slammed shut can feel like failure. But in reality, it might be the greatest act of love and protection God could offer you. When God closes a door, He's not withholding something good from you. He's keeping something harmful away, even if you don't see it yet. There are things in life that look perfect on the surface. The opportunity sounds ideal. The person seems like everything you prayed for. The situation appears to be aligned just right. But God doesn't make decisions based on appearances. He sees the full picture, the future you can't yet imagine. He knows what's behind that door, what that opportunity might cost you, and what kind of pain it might bring. So when He says no, when He shuts that door despite your hopes and prayers, it's not because you don't deserve it. It's because you deserve better. Many times we confuse delayed blessings or divine protection as rejection. We start questioning ourselves, what did I do wrong? Or why does this keep happening to me? But the truth is, God's protection often comes disguised as disappointment. It's a door that doesn't open, a call that never comes, a plan that doesn't unfold. Yet looking back, how many times have you thanked God for the things that didn't work out? The friendships that faded, the paths that never progressed, the offers that fell through, things that once broke your heart, but later made perfect sense. We live in a world that praises constant achievement and open opportunities, so when something closes, it feels like a step backward. But from a higher perspective, that closed door could be the very thing that saved you. Maybe it saved your peace. Maybe it saved your purpose. Maybe it saved your time, your energy, or your heart from being drained in the wrong place. You may never fully know what God protected you from, but trust that every door He closes is with precision, intention, and care. Rejection is often redirection. It's easy to take rejection personally, to see it as a sign that we're not good enough or that we've somehow fallen short. But when you start to understand that not every no is meant to break you, some are meant to guide you, you begin to view rejection differently. It stops feeling like an ending and starts looking more like a turning point. What felt like a door slamming in your face might actually be the moment God gently nudged you towards something far greater than what you were reaching for. You might have been aiming for something that looked perfect from your point of view, the opportunity, the relationship, the plan. It made sense. It felt right. It even seemed like a dream come true. But God isn't limited to your perspective. He knows where each path leads. He knows what fits your future and what doesn't. So when He redirects you, it's not because you're unworthy of what you wanted. It's because what you wanted wasn't worthy of the destiny He's designed for you. It's a hard truth that sometimes what we want the most is the very thing that would hold us back. And because God loves you too much to let you settle, He steps in and reroutes your path. That rejection, that disappointment, that unexpected change of direction, it's not meant to destroy you. It's meant to protect your calling. It's meant to take you somewhere better, even if the road there feels longer, harder, or unclear. Think about how many people stay stuck in the wrong situation just because they fear change or refuse to accept a closed door. But when you let go of what didn't work out, when you stop chasing what wasn't meant for you, you create space for what is meant to find you. Redirection is not failure, it's divine strategy. It's God placing you where you need to be with the right timing, the right people, and the right energy to fulfill your purpose. You may not understand the no right now. You may not see the reason behind the closed door yet. But in time, when the right path begins to unfold, you realize that every rejection you faced was actually grace in disguise. Faith is tested in uncertainty. It's easy to believe when everything is going well, when the doors are opening, the plans are working, and life feels aligned. But true faith isn't measured in moments of clarity and ease. It's revealed in the silence, in the waiting, in the times when everything feels still and unanswered. That's where the real test begins. Not when God says yes, but when He says wait or nothing at all. It's in the space between the prayer and the breakthrough that your trust is refined. Uncertainty has a way of shaking us. It makes us question our decisions, our direction, even our worth. We start wondering if we missed something or made a mistake. But just because things are unclear doesn't mean they're wrong. God often uses the fog to teach us how to walk by faith, not by sight. If you could see the whole plan laid out in front of you, there would be no need for faith. But when you can't see the next step and you still choose to move forward, that's where transformation happens. It's in the waiting that your character is built. It's in the unknown that your endurance is strengthened. The discomfort of not knowing pushes you to rely on something greater than your own understanding. You start listening more closely, surrendering more deeply, and growing in ways comfort could never teach you. And even though the process can feel frustrating or painful, it's purposeful. God is not withholding clarity to punish you. He's doing it to draw you closer, to sharpen your spirit, to prepare you for what's coming next. You learn more about yourself in the silence than in the spotlight. You learn how to hold on when nothing is certain, how to keep showing up even when you don't feel seen. Faith is not a feeling, it's a decision. It's choosing to believe that even though you don't have all the answers, God does, and that He's working behind the scenes, aligning everything in perfect time, even if it doesn't look like it right now. When life feels uncertain and doors stay closed, it's not a sign to give up. It's an invitation to go deeper, to trust more, to believe without proof. Because faith isn't about knowing, it's about continuing even in the not knowing. Letting go creates space for greater things. It's one of the most challenging yet liberating truths in life. We often hold on tightly to what's familiar, what we've prayed for, or what we've emotionally invested in, but sometimes what we cling to isn't meant to stay. And in holding on, we unknowingly block the better things God wants to bring into our lives. The truth is, you can't receive what's next if your hands are still full of what was. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of trust. It's saying, I may not understand why this door closed, but I believe something better is coming. There are moments when life asks you to surrender something you thought was permanent. A job you built your life around, a relationship you believed would last forever, a dream you poured your soul into, and when that chapter ends, it can feel like everything is falling apart. But what if things are actually falling into place? What if the ending you're resisting is the beginning you've been praying for, just wrapped in a form you didn't expect? We often assume that holding on shows strength, but sometimes the real strength is in walking away, in saying, this no longer serves me, no longer grows me, no longer aligns with where I'm going. And that's not giving up, that's leveling up. It's recognizing that peace is more valuable than familiarity, that purpose is more important than comfort, and that God doesn't ask you to release something unless He's planning to replace it with something far more aligned with who you're becoming. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't care. It means you care enough about your future to stop living in what no longer fits your destiny. It means you're choosing growth over attachment. You're choosing alignment over convenience. And that choice, while hard, opens the door to everything you've been waiting for. Sometimes we think we're waiting on God, but really, God is waiting on us to release what we're holding so He can pour something new into our lives. The space created by letting go isn't empty, it's preparation. It's where the new vision takes root, where the healing begins, where clarity starts to form, and in time you'll see that what you thought was a loss was actually the greatest gift you could have received. Don't force what's not meant for you. In a world that constantly pushes the idea of hustle, grind, and making things happen at any cost, it's easy to believe that if something isn't working, you just need to try harder. But not everything is meant to be forced. Some doors stay shut for a reason. And when you try to force something that isn't aligned with your purpose, you don't just delay your progress, you exhaust your spirit. Forcing what's not meant for you creates frustration, confusion, and unnecessary struggle because you're trying to make something fit that was never designed to. There's a difference between persistence and forcing. Persistence is rooted in faith, timing, and discernment. Forcing is rooted in fear, control, and desperation. When you find yourself pushing harder than necessary, trying to manipulate outcomes, chasing after things that clearly aren't flowing, it's usually a sign that it's not your door. What's meant for you will not come through manipulation or stress. It will come with peace. Even if it takes effort, it will still feel aligned. You'll feel pulled toward it, not pressured into it. Sometimes we hold on so tightly to what we want that we miss what we need. We ignore the red flags, the lack of peace, the inner nudges telling us to walk away. But God gives us those signs for a reason. He speaks in discomfort. He speaks in resistance. When something that once brought joy starts draining your energy, when the door you're knocking on refuses to open, no matter how hard you try, that's not failure. That's direction. It's your cue to step back and trust that you don't need to force what's meant to be. We grow up hearing that we should never give up, but sometimes letting go is the wisest move, not because you didn't try hard enough, but because trying harder would only lead you further away from your purpose. There is power in surrender. There is wisdom in knowing when to stop. Push. The right opportunity, the right relationship, the right path, it won't require you to lose yourself to attain it. It will bring clarity, not confusion, peace, not pressure. Trust that what's meant for you will feel right in your soul. It won't require endless convincing or constant effort just to keep it alive. When it's right, it will flow, and when it's not, no amount of forcing will ever make it fit. Trust in God's timing and plan. It's one thing to say you have faith, and another to live it, especially when life isn't unfolding the way you imagine. We all have timelines in our heads. We picture when things should happen, how they should happen, and what they should look like. But God isn't bound by our clocks or our expectations. His timing is perfect, not because it matches our plans, but because it aligns with a greater purpose we often can't see in the moment. There are seasons in life when it feels like nothing is moving. You're praying, believing, showing up, and yet the results don't seem to match the effort. In those moments, it's tempting to assume God has forgotten you or that you've somehow missed your window. But the truth is, delays are not denials. A closed door today might just be preparation for the door that's going to open tomorrow. What feels like a pause could be God working behind the scenes, setting things in place so that when the moment arrives, everything will align in a way you never could have orchestrated on your own. We live in a world obsessed with instant results, but the things that last, the things that matter, those take time. Trusting God means surrendering your desire for control and choosing peace over pressure. It means understanding that even when you can't trace His hand, you can trust His heart. Every setback, every delay, every detour, it all serves a purpose. Nothing is wasted. Even the seasons of waiting are filled with lessons, growth, and unseen blessings. You may not understand the why right now. You may not feel like anything is happening. But faith means holding on even when there's no evidence yet. It means saying, God, I trust you even when I don't understand you. Because the same God who gave you the vision will make a way to fulfill it, just not always in the way you expect. So stop stressing over what hasn't happened yet. Don't let impatience rob you of peace. What's meant for you is still coming. Not late, not lost, just being shaped in divine timing. Keep showing up, keep believing, keep trusting. Because when God moves, it happens fast. And when it's finally time, everything will make sense. The doors will open, the pieces will fit, and you'll realize the wait wasn't a waste. It was preparation for the blessing that's about to unfold.